Honoring the time that you set aside for your practice. If you desire to hold an intention for your practice this evening, turn inward towards the intention for your practice. Begin to inhale 5 deep, spacious breaths. And maybe you can focus on the inhalation being a count of 3 or 4. And inviting balance to your exhalation, same idea, 3 or 4 counts out. And on your next inhalation, reach your arms up overhead. And feel that generous rise of the collarbone, of the lungs, of the side body. Maybe moving the torso a little bit from side to side, exploring a gentle sway. And interlace your fingers behind your head and continue to sway from side to side. And as you find a central space, close your elbows and lean towards the right knee. And then inhale up. Exhale, close your elbows and lean towards your left knee. Inhale up. Exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, twisting to the left. Let's do that one more time. And then reach your hands up overhead. And exhale your arms out. Carefully bring the hands to the tops of the shoulders. And move your elbows around in really big circles. And then reach your hands up. And bring your elbows down, but join your palms. Turn your hands inside out. And just make circles with your wrists. So opening like a book. And then your fingers point down. And as the backs of the palms rise, you close that book. Just a few times, moving your wrists around. And then see if you can change the direction of that. So push those palms forward. As the backs of the palms come together, again, rotate your wrists. And then send your hands together and up. As you carry your arms out to the sides, bring your right elbow under your left and bring either back or front of palms together. Just pausing there. Feeling the shoulders rest away from the ears. Bring the elbows forward and feel that protraction of the shoulder. Move your head up and down. See if you can press your forearms or your palms together. And then carefully fold forward, bringing your elbows towards the earth, fingertips towards the earth. And then rock. As you release your arms, bring your arms out. And carry your left elbow under your right, either back or front of palms together as you elevate. And depressing the shoulders away from the ears, push them down. But feel your forearms and your elbows reach forward. Firmly pressing the forearms or the palms. Try and find 3 spacious breaths. And then carefully fold forward. And inhale up. Releasing your arms out to the sides. Sweep your hands up. Bring those elbows down. Let's take a gentle twist to the right side. And take that gentle twist to your left side. Reaching the hands forward and up. Carefully bring your arms out to the sides and wrap your hands around the low back, maybe clasping your elbows, maybe clasping your forearms. Feel the shoulders reaching away from your ears again. Relax your chin towards your collarbone and exhale 3 breaths through the mouth. And then elevate your head, release your hands, reach your hands up overhead. Releasing your left hand down, place your right palm behind your head, gazing up towards the sky. Feel the palm supporting the skull. And then stretch that right side body a little bit. Taking the right arm up, take the right arm behind your back and reach around towards your left hip. Take another breath, keeping that gaze elevated. And once again, right arm returns up, but carry that in line with your right ear, extending the fingers towards the left side. At this point, maybe micro-bend your left elbow, leaning a little bit more. You could lift your gaze towards your palm. And then carefully release your hand down. As you reach your left hand to the sky, place your palm behind your head. Tip yourself over to the right side, gazing upward towards the sky. Maintaining that support, using the palm to press into the back of the skull. Find 2 more breaths. And then carry the left arm behind your back, wrapping around towards the right hip. Breathing there. Inhale, left arm up, sweeping that left arm in line with your ear. Micro bend your right elbow, maybe gazing up towards your left palm. And then release your hand down. From here, let's make our way to child's pose on the mat with your knees all the way together. So just setting your prop off to the side. Carefully extend your arms forward. And we'll stay for 5 breaths. Knees could be wide or together. That's up to you this evening. And then slowly rising up with a rounded spine. Shift yourself forward to upward facing dog. Maybe elevate your shin bones. And then carefully lower yourself all the way to the earth. Pushing up and back to child's pose again. Round your spine. Moving forward to upward facing dog. Exhale, lower yourself to the earth. Again, push back for child's pose. Round your spine. Moving forward to upward facing dog. And exhale, lower. This time, tuck your toes, rise to plank, and push back for your first downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, find that spacious breath. Working on bending the knees and reaching your heels back. And then shift yourself forward for plank pose again. Carefully drop the knees, lower all the way to the earth. Back to upward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog. Once you walk your feet together, try and root your heels a little closer to the earth. Gonna move your head forward and back, letting the head rest in between the shoulders eventually. Focus on that deep, slow, thoughtful breath. And then drop down to your knees and press back for child's pose. Let's take 5 breaths here. As you enter that spacious breath, settle a little deeper towards the earth. Taking time to extend and reach the side body as you crawl your fingers forward. Compressing a little deeper into the hips. Take 3 exhalations through the mouth. And then rolling along the spine to upward facing dog. Tuck your toes and press up and back for downward facing dog. Let's take 5 breaths here. Again, you might move your knees, you might pedal a little bit, taking time to reach one heel and then the other to the earth. And then step forward with your right foot, dropping your left knee down. And as you use your fingertips here, slowly shift forward and back. You might decide to root your palms, maybe one, maybe both. And then carefully pressing into the bottom of the right foot, reach your hands to the sky. Interlace your fingers behind your head, opening up the elbows. Take your time, bow forward, squeezing in towards the midline, and then inhale up, open your elbows again. Exhale, close those elbows, forward folding. Inhale, rising up, elbows out. One more time, exhale, round your spine, close your elbows. Inhale, rising up, arms reach. Exhale, fingertips to the earth. See if you can stretch back, straightening your right leg. Elevate your heel. Take a few moments to point and flex through the bottom of your right foot. And then returning back to that lunge, place your left palm, elevate your left knee, and reach your right hand to the sky. Gazing up towards your right palm, squeezing in towards the midline, so see if you can adduct your inner thighs, hugging in energetically and muscularly. And carefully look down. Reaching your hands up for high lunge. Join your palms. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Round your spine. Elbows towards your knee. Inhale, rising up and open. Exhale, round your spine, closing towards your knee. One more time. Inhale, up and open. Exhale, round your spine. Drop down the left knee. Reaching those hands back up. Exhale, palms to the earth. Press back for child's pose. We'll roll that spine, cat-like back. Moving to upward facing dog. Exhale, lower to the earth. Rise to plank. And back to downward facing dog. Paddle your knees, move your hips a little bit. Inviting the aliveness of your breath. And carefully, when you are ready, step forward with your left foot. Dropping the right knee down, using your fingertips, slowly shifting forward and back. Maybe using one or both palms. And then rising up, lunge, reach those hands up, interlace your fingers behind your head. Folding forward, elbows towards your knee. Inhale, rise up and open. Exhale, elbows towards the knee. Inhale, up and open. Exhale, closing towards your knee. This time as you rise, reach your arms. Exhale, fingertips to the earth. Straightening your left leg. Elevate your toes. Point and flex through the bottom of your left foot. And then as you shift back into a lunge, Place that right palm down, tuck your right toes, elevate your right knee, reach to the sky with your left hand. Do your best to rotate your ribcage upward, stacking your shoulders, lunging maybe a little deeper. Mindfully breathe. Carefully look down. Make your way to high lunge. Arms reach up. Exhale. Interlace those fingers behind your head. Carefully fold forward. And then inhale back up. Exhale. Carefully fold forward. Inhale back up. Last one. Carefully fold forward. Inhale back up. Drop the right knee down, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to the earth, and press back for child's pose. Roll your spine. Upward facing dog. Exhale, lower. Tuck your toes, rise to plank. Push back for downward facing dog. See if we can pedal the knees, shifting that weight to one heel and then the other. Maybe allowing your hips to twist. Drawing your knees towards the earth as you twist. You can pivot and rotate on the ball of your foot, sinking a little deeper. And then just coming back to downward facing dog. Take a moment of stillness. Continue to exhale, maybe through the mouth. Settling into this pose. And then carefully step your feet behind your hands. Take a halfway gaze, lengthening. Come back to forward fold. Rising to standing. Palms together, reach up. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Bend your elbows. Fold forward. And vertebrae by vertebrae, rise up. Head up, elbows out. Exhale, round all the way down. Inhale up. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, round. And inhale, rising up. Arms reach up. Take the interlaced fingers inside out. Make your way to forward fold, placing your palms on the earth. Tone your belly and round your spine. Squeezing the arms into the sides of the ears. See if you can take 3 breaths here, shifting the weight towards your palms. And then bend your knees, keeping those interlaced fingers. Rise up with the arms for Utkatasana, chair pose. At this point, make it awkward chair pose. So bring the knees together, keep your feet wide, and breathe. Exhale, hands come out. Once the fingertips come down, you can separate the knees. Walk your feet a little bit closer. Take a little halfway gaze. Exhale, forward fold. Roll to standing. Palms together, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Step back for downward facing dog. And then take your right leg high to the sky. Bring your right knee towards your right elbow. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Again, with control, reaching up. Exhale towards the elbow. Nice big breath, reaching up. This time, set your right knee in the middle of your mat. Bring your left knee behind it and hinge back, maybe resting towards your heel. Could be on your palms, maybe come down to your forearms. Let's take 3 breaths. Starting to relax your abdomen. Releasing along your spine. Breathing all the way down into the bottom of the belly. Feel the expansiveness of your diaphragm. And then carefully walk your hands forward. Bring the knees forward and do a few rounds of cat-cow. And if available, rising to the tops of the knees, bringing the hands together before the heart. If comfortable, reach your hands up overhead. If you are rising, bring your hands out to the sides. Carefully bring your right elbow under your left. Press your palms towards each other, maybe forearms, and reach to the sky. And if the arms are in that bind, reach them out. Hinge back into your hips. Put your palms back on the earth. Extend your left foot back. We're making our way to downward facing dog. Send your left leg high. Left knee to left elbow. Move really slow, reaching up and back. Exhale, knee to elbow. Again, inhale up and back. Left knee to left elbow. This time, really big breath, reach up. Place that knee in the center of your mat. Draw your right knee behind it. And carefully press back any degree, making your way to forward fold. Again, focus on the diaphragm. Focus on that movement of the belly. Focus on releasing the spine. Feeling the heaviness of your torso. And then carefully make your way back to your palms. As you rise, do a few rounds of cat-cow. Deciding what the appropriate effort for you is. Either staying here or rising to the tops of the knees, shifting the hips and pelvis forward. Maybe hands reaching to the sky. And if available, bind your arms. As the arms come out, left elbow under right, back or front of palms together. Maybe lift your gaze. Steady breath. And if you're binding your arms, carefully reach your hands out, hinging in your hips. As the hands come back down, shift your weight to your knees, extend your right leg back, and step to downward facing dog. Let's take 5 breaths here. Pushing forward with your palms, lengthening through that side body and spine. Start to tone your abdomen and fill your low back. So really focus on the exhalations. Keeping the navel inward and upward, squeezing in. Massaging all the organs. This time, take your right leg high and step forward. As you place your palms, push forward and back here. So lunging into the right knee and then straightening the right leg. Your best effort. Could be one hand on your shin bone. Some of you might decide to actually press your palms. And the next time you bend in the right knee, shift your weight and elevate your left leg. Take your hands forward a little bit. Bring your left knee, try and touch your forehead. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, knee to forehead. Inhale, reaching back. Exhale, knee to forehead. And then set your foot down. Palms together, reach up. Exhale, hands out to the side, Samastitihi. Palms together, Urdhva Namaskara, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Gaze and lengthen. Stepping back for downward facing dog. Shift forward for plank pose. Lower to the earth. Make your way to upward facing dog. And then to downward facing dog. Left leg is high. Step it forward to the front of the mat. Using your fingers, maybe your palms, start to lunge and then straighten. Come back to a lunge. Walk your hands forward. Elevate your right leg. Bring your right knee towards your forehead. Inhale, reach and stretch. Exhale, knee to forehead. Inhale, reach and stretch. One more time, knee to forehead. Set your foot down. Palms together, reach up. Exhale, arms out. Palms together, reach up. Exhale, make your way to forward fold. Clasp your elbows. And exhale through your mouth, really heavy along the spine. If you would like, you can interlace your fingers behind your skull. And feel that extra weight of the arms, bringing length to the cervical spine. And then release your fingers. Roll yourself to standing. Arms reach up. Bring your elbows down the sides. Take time, inhale up. Exhale, elbows down the sides. Now shift your weight into your right foot and step straight back with your left leg, planting your left heel. Place your hands on your hips. Make sure that your hips are parallel to the front of the mat. Carefully hinging forward. Rest your torso and release your head. And invite your gaze out. Push into your feet and rise back up. This time, bring your hands up. Interlace your palms, stretching up towards the sky with those fingers. Keep your arms in line with your ears. Begin to extend forward towards your right leg. Keeping the arms in line with your ears, rise back up. See if you can do that 2 more times. Fingers interlaced, exhale, forward fold. Take your time, push into your feet, rising back up. Again, keep your arms in line with your ears. Exhale, forward fold. Still in line, rising back up. Arms reach out. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Take a moment to open up your shoulders. Tuck your chin. Draw your heart sternum forward. Stretch your lungs. And then release your hands, reach up. Exhale, hands out to the sides. Step forward to the front of the mat. Palms together, reach up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Gaze and lengthen. Step back for plank pose. Lower to the earth. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Let's take 5 breaths. Now step your left foot forward about halfway. Rooting your right heel as you rise. Straighten both of your legs. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to your hips. Carefully make sure that your hips are parallel to the front of the mat. Forward fold. And then taking your time, rise back up. Arms reach the sky. Interlace your fingers. Arms in line with your ears. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, knuckles to the sky. 2 more times. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold forward. Big breath, rising. Arms come down. Interlace your fingers and open up your shoulders. Tuck your chin and breathe. And then release your hands, reach up. Exhale, elbows down. Step forward to the front of the mat. Reaching up. Forward fold. Gaze and lengthen. Step back for downward facing dog. Shift forward to plank. Drop down to the knees and lower slowly to your belly. walking the arms forward, reaching as much as you can. Think of full body stretch. Reach through your toes, reach through your arms. And then walk your hands back next to the shoulders. Press yourself up and back for child's pose. We'll stay here for 3 full breaths. Rounding your spine. Shift forward into upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes. Reaching up and back for downward facing dog. Walk your feet a little closer. Right leg is high. And then pull your right knee in towards your belly. And make your way to pigeon. So you're extending your left leg back. And maybe come down to your forearms. If you're comfortable, you might decide to come down to your forehead. And then carefully make your way back to your palms. Tuck your left toe. Reach your right leg up and back. 3-legged downward facing dog. And set your right foot down. Left leg is high. Bring the left knee forward for pigeon. Take time to extend your right leg back and lower to the earth. Carefully walk your hands back, tuck your right toes, 3-legged downward facing dog, left leg high, and then place your foot down. Let's take our right leg high to the sky. Step forward to the front of the mat. Elevate your left leg, and then set it down. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Gaze and lengthen. Walk, step, or jump back to plank. Lower. Make your way to upward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog. Left leg high. Step forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, right leg high. Set it down. Palms together, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Gaze and lengthen. Walk, step, or jump back for plank. Lower. Upward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog. This time the left leg high. Step forward to the front of the mat. Elevate your right leg. Pull your right knee in towards your forehead. Swing your shin bone forward and have a seat. Once you arrive, hug your left knee in towards your belly. Try and ground both of your sits bones to the earth. And carefully, externally rotate your left knee out to the side. Arms reaching up. And choosing whichever variation you want tonight, clasping your ankle, the bottom of your foot. If you're binding, the right arm is the reacher, and the left hand is the grabber. Make your way to a forward fold by hinging in your hips, and then slowly unwind your spine. Crown of your head is reaching towards your toes. Try and soften for 3 full breaths. And then look forward. If you have a bind, you keep that as you reach up to the sky, otherwise reach. Exhale, hands come down. From here, we're going to pull the right knee in. We're going to make our way to Kranchasana, the traditional heron pose. So if you're binding today, you're going to take the second variation. First variation is clasping the bottom of your foot and simply stretching your leg to the sky. If you're binding, take your right hand to the outside of your foot, clasp your wrist with your left hand, and then stretch your leg to the sky. Once you arrive in either of those variations, sit really tall and draw your shin bone towards your forehead. Let's see if we can take 5 breaths here. Honoring where you are today. And then carefully straighten your arms, release your leg. As you bring your hands down, step your right foot back to the earth, shift your weight forward, use your fingers, elevate your left leg, and then place your left foot down. Palms together, don't worry if you're off your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Gaze and lengthen. Walk your hands back and step back for downward facing dog. Right leg is high this time. Step forward to the front of the mat. Use your fingers, elevate your left leg. Left knee in towards your forehead. From your shin, swing it forward and have a seat. Giving the right knee a hug. Breathe your breath. Carefully, externally rotate, right knee moves outward, and then begin to fold forward. As you fold forward, choosing your hand variation. That might be to your ankle or your shin. It might be the bind. Bind would be left arm reaching, right arm clasping. Think about hinging in your hips first, then the belly, then the collarbone or sternum, eventually your forehead. Crown of the head is reaching towards your toes. Keep the length of the side body and breathe. Gazing forward. If you have the bind, push and reach. Exhale, hands come down. Bring your left knee in. Readjust your right heel in a little bit closer if you need to. And then make a decision whether you're clasping the bottom of your foot and reaching your leg to the sky, or if you're binding, your left arm reaches, right hand around the bottom of your foot, finding the wrist, push your foot into your arms. Stretch your arms, lengthen through your torso, and then carefully draw the shin towards your forehead. And gaze up, lengthen through your arms, release your leg. Bring your hands back to the earth. Bend your left knee, shift forward, right leg lifts, right foot down. Roll to standing, palms reach up. Exhale, elbows down, forward fold. Readjust your fingers, step your way back to downward facing dog. Just breathe. Nice, slow, thoughtful breaths. And then carefully walk your hands all the way to your feet. So moving towards the back of your mat, take a little halfway gaze. Make your way back to forward fold. Rising up to standing. Palms together, reach up. Exhale, elbows down the sides. Inhale, reaching forward and up. Exhale, forward fold. Gaze and lengthen. Come back to forward fold. Maybe clasp your elbows, just hanging heavy. You might interlace your fingers behind your skull, squeeze those elbows in, and bring some length to your cervical spine. And then release your hands and roll yourself up to standing. Palms reach up. Exhale, as you forward fold, take your hands back into the sky. Inhale, sweep your hands up. Exhale, take your hands back into the sky. Inhale, up. One more time, back and towards the sky. And then inhale up. Bringing the hands down the sides. Take a moment to interlace your fingers behind your back. Open up your shoulders. Tuck your chin. Folding forward, take your knuckles to the sky. We'll take 5 breaths. Forehead is traveling towards your shin bones. Mindful breaths. Lengthen spine. And then lift your gaze. Sweep those hands forward and up. Exhale, make your way to downward facing dog. Walk along your mat. Once you find downward facing dog, push those palms forward, reaching as much as you can. 5 full breaths. This is our last downward facing dog today. Tone your abdomen. Feel the rib cage closing inward towards the midline. Lift your floating ribs and draw the navel in and up. Reaching your heels back, elevate your shin bones. Keep the extension along the arms and the side body all the way up to the sits bones. Head resting comfortably in between your arms. And then look forward towards your palms. Hop your feet right behind your hands. Come down to Malasana, garland. Join your palms together in prayer. You might be on the ball of your foot here. That's okay. Doing your best to find an upright spine. See if you can travel a little bit from side to side. Massaging the crease of the hip. Shifting the weight on your feet. And then have a seat. And stretch your legs out wide, so they'll be off your mat. Taking time to shift from side to side, drawing the bottom of your pelvis back, your sits bones back. And then forward fold. Maybe make your way to your forearms or your elbows or your palms. Some of you might continue to move the fleshy portion of the leg back, creating an internal rotation through the femur bone, and make your way to a deeper forward fold. If you're in a deeper forward fold, you can choose to clasp your big toes, bring your elbows out to the sides, activate the bottom of your feet, drawing the forehead towards the earth, or reach around, clasping the heels or the bottom of the foot, and bring your forehead to the earth. You choose what's available to you today. It's your forward fold. No ego. Just honestly breathing where you are. And then carefully lift your gaze, walk your hands in, push yourself to an upright spine, reach your hands up overhead, exhale, hands come out. Now, join the bottom of your feet, but keep your legs long. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, make your way to forward fold. And then carefully rise, arms reach up. As you exhale your hands out, bring your knees back together. Take your arms underneath your knees, clasp your elbows. If you're comfortable forward folding today and getting that nice deep hinge in your hips, turn your palms down. We're gonna straighten the legs as much as we can here. You can clasp your elbows if you need a little bit more bend in your knees. Right? Otherwise, just place your palms down, sliding your heels forward. Again, hinge in your hips. Keep the spine long and lengthened. Traveling forward. And slowly lift your gaze, unwind your hands, rise up, big reach to the sky. Exhale, pull your left knee in and twist to your left side. If you would like a little bit deeper twist, you can step your foot to the outside of the right leg. Continue to give yourself that hug and then twist. Maybe bringing the elbow to the outside of the knee and twist. And then traveling back to center, release your leg. Inhale, arms, hugging the right knee in and twisting to the right side. Again, other opportunities might be stepping your foot to the outside of your left leg, continuing to just hug your knee there, or bringing the elbow to the outside of the right knee as you twist to the right side. And then coming back to center, release your right leg, roll down to your back, take a nice full body stretch. Stepping your feet to the earth, take your feet wide, and rock your knees from side to side as you rest your palms out and open. Let's take a moment to bring both knees in towards your belly. Root down into the low back. And take 3 full breaths. You can either draw the knees over to the right side, or if you would like, cross your left knee over your right, and then draw your knees over to the right side. Bringing the knees back to center. If your left knee is not over your right, cross your left knee over your right. Take your left elbow underneath your right, bringing back our front of palms together. Feel your fingers reaching towards the top of the head. Feel your knees reaching towards your belly. You might elevate your right leg and bind your feet, tucking your toes behind your shin bone. And then release your arms out. Unbind your legs, stretch them to the sky, rotate your ankles, set your feet down, shifting left and right. And then pulling those knees back in towards your belly, make a decision whether your knees just drift to the left side or right knee over left as you drop your knees to the left side. Carefully come back to center. If your right knee is not over your left, it's a great time to cross it. All right? Pull your knees towards your belly. Maybe elevate your left leg. See if you can tuck your toes behind your shin or calf. Reach your arms up. Bring your hands out. Right elbow under left. Any binding here, backs of palms or front of palms together. Fingers travel towards the top of the head. Knees travel towards your belly. And then unbind your arms, unbind your legs, legs to the sky. Point and flex your feet. Step your feet back down. We'll take our final full body stretch. And then releasing everything out. So letting the toes fall out, letting the arms reach out. Move your head from side to side. Take a few exhalations through the mouth. Eventually finding stillness. Simply observing the natural state of your breath. Observing the internal space. Observing sensation. And know the goodness of your being. Know the purity of this moment and only this moment. That wonderful, innate aliveness within. As you tune in to the energy that flows through you, this pranic energy. Also know Maya, the earth energy. Feel in this moment the supportiveness of the earth beneath you. Life within and life surrounding. And again, thank yourself for the goodness of your being and the purity of this moment. And then move your head slowly from side to side. Move your fingers and move your toes. Any other movements that might feel good today? Knees in towards the belly, any rocking or reaching. And choosing whichever side of the body you wish to roll to, carefully make your way to some kind of seated pose. And as you bring your hands before your heart, leave an openness in the center of your palms. Again, thankful for the goodness of your being. And knowing that as you cultivate a connectedness to self and know the goodness of your being, you can reflect only goodness. Knowing the connectedness to all beings and all things. I thank you for sharing your practice. Namaste.